Okay. This video is for Lizzie and anyone who's just recently purchased their first Glock handgun and want to know how to use it the right way. First off, this weapon is completely unloaded. There's nothing in the chamber whatsoever. You can look in there and you don't see a bullet in that little slot. I don't know if you can see that. In there is where the bullet sits. Keeping the gun away from my face and pointed away from anybody. Keeping my finger off the trigger. They have a little groove right here that your finger should just sit in. Not up here, not down here. Right there. At all times, unless you're ready to shoot. Now that we've gone over this, and we can see we have a clear weapon. It is cold. It is not hot. Safe to use it. With an unloaded magazine, there's nothing in here. This particular magazine is a 45 caliber magazine, and these are 45 caliber bullets for my 45 caliber gun. Now you may have a 9mm, you may have a Gen 3, a Gen 4, but all Glocks work the same. With that said, take your empty magazine, insert it this way, just like that, into the gun. It'll add you another finger groove. It'll sit either flush with the gun. This one's fatter, so I have enough spot for my picky. Now, with there's no bullets in the magazine, when you bring it back like this, grab it like this with your 3 fingers around it like that, keep a tight grip on it, finger off the trigger. You grab the top of the slide right here, just like so. Put your thumb on the back of it even, if you so wish. You pull back, let go. You don't have to do anything else. It's going to stay open. Now you can see there is nothing in the chamber. Nothing went in here. You don't see a bullet sitting here. You don't see the back of the bullet sitting inside of there. You would if it had one in it, trust me. And I'll show you that in a minute. Now, you could take this button right here and drop your mag out. Magazine's empty. You can push it in, it's going to click. But I like that. So I know damn well it's in there. And it's not going to poop, accidentally fall out. Also, when you're gripping, don't press that. Your magazine will fall right out. So keep your thumb either on this groove here where it gives it to you, above the mag release, or below it, however you feel comfortable with. With that said, this button right here is a very important button. Mine has a little nub on it. It's extended. I put that on there after I bought it. See the little nub right here. That is the slide lock. That is how you make the gun lock and lock a bullet into the chamber, or load a bullet, however you want to call it. There's no bullets in here still, so this is still a cold gun. However, I'm pointing it in a safe direction where there's no people. So with that said, this is how you load the magazine. Take this thing. It's going to be different sizes for different calibers. Comes with your gun. See how this? I have a little point that sticks out here. You're going to have, there's the back of it where you see all the holes. This is the front of the magazine, and it's going to sit in the gun like this. So you take this, you put the window where that point's at. So it looks just like this. What this allows you to do is you can push that little thing down. It's got a little tooth right in there and pushes it right down. And when you push it down, you can take a bullet, 9mm or 45 like this one, depending on what platform you have. You place it right in there. Push down with your thumb, apply a little bit of pressure right here, and push back. Oh shit. It's easier if you butt it up against something like your chest or your knee, or you have a stable platform. Table doesn't work too good sometimes, because, I don't know, I found it easier to do on my chest or my knee, or my stomach, something like solid body mass. So, put it down, you push down with your thumb, and you push the bullet down while you got this thing down. And then you lift up and you slide back. Well, as you're lifting, as this part is lifting up, you're pressing the bullet inward. So, I'll show you that one more time. Press this down. You want to put the rim of this thing on top of the brass part. You don't want it to sit here. You want it to be past that line. So you push it in, you lift up, and you push back. Well, pressing up against something so it doesn't move. And it goes right in. If you try to hold it and do it, it's not going to happen. Try to put it on a table and do it, it's not going to happen. Put it up against you. And just practice. The more you practice, you get faster, and you just keep going. You just go in easy. Now this is a loaded magazine. You'll be able to tell how many rounds you have, because you'll see them in there. Sometimes, in between, you can't really tell. You can barely see something at 6. A little bit. Yeah, it works. So that's how you know how many bullets you have. Now, this is the serious part here where you take an unloaded firearm, you pull your slide back just like this, push up, you know it's gun, the gun is clear, close it by holding a slide and dropping it like so it doesn't slap forward unless you want it to slap forward. Doesn't matter, it's not going to hurt it. Or you can pull it back. You don't even have to press that button. You could just pull it back. You just, as soon as you pull back and let go, it's going to, like so. Now if you take a loaded magazine with your finger off of the trigger, in between this point and that point, right there, and you place it into the firearm as if you were ready to shoot it. And you have a loaded gun here. Now, there's no bullet in the chamber yet until you repeat that process, like so. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to load around into the chamber. And there's nothing this way. My finger is off the trigger. And I'm not going to pull that trigger. I know, even if it did, it's nothing that way. You got to remember shit like that every time you touch your gun. Every time. Don't forget it. So then, you got your finger off. Put your hand over. Pull your thumb back and you rack a round. This is a hot weapon. The only safety is my finger. And with all Glocks, there is no safety but your finger. So, even if you release the magazine, there's still a bullet in this chamber, and I can't stress that to you enough. You better listen right now, because with my finger off the trigger, this will kill someone. So with that said, that's how you load your weapon. Once you have it loaded, finger off the trigger, this finger pulling back towards your hand. Now this is an unloaded weapon. It is cold. There's nothing in there. I can see straight through. I can poke my finger and you won't see the bullet. And you can see straight through. Rifling and everything. So, with that said, and it's a cold weapon now. The magazine, of course. I hate to repeat myself, but you gotta tell yourself that every time when you're touching your gun, so you don't slip up one time and that's the last time. You know, got my good grip. I put my thumb right about here. See, it's got this whole grip area for you to put your palm on, like so, and you wrap your hands. And when you have empty magazine, now it's empty, put it in there. I have my third little grip for your pinky, because that's important too for a good marking grip. You're pushing with this dominant arm, pushing it towards you, away from you, while taking this hand and pulling it towards you in a motion like this, with your thumbs off of the slide at all times. Put your one hand down here, keep your thumb away from this little button. You got 3 fingers there. Put your 3 fingers on top of them. You put your 4th finger right here where the texture is. And you pinch your thumbs down. You hold the one that's got this finger up. You pull that thumb, this whole thumb down. And hold it straight. And you squeeze tight with this part. You squeeze tight on that. And you squeeze tight on this. Make sure you got that weapon tight in your hands. And put your body behind it. You don't shoot up high. You don't shoot down low unless you want to. You're going to miss. You want it directly with your dominant eye. If you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, it's going to be different for you. But if you're right-handed, what you want to do is you line this little white ridge with that dot, and you want it to look like that. Just right about there, right in the middle of what that thing is, right there. And you might want to aim just a little bit low, because it's going to rise on you just a slight bit. So even when it's right about there. You know? So, with the empty magazine in the weapon, and I pull it back and it's going to stay locked without me doing anything. Like so. You can put it back, and it's empty. Fire it. It's going to click. You grab it right here, like you're pinching the frame, not the slide, but the frame. Both sides. Take your grip. Hand over. And you're going to grab these serrations right here with the 2 fingers, and while using your thumb, and you're going to pull it back just until it clicks that far. You can go right there with it, just so it's barely off the back there. And while you got that, you get a little click. These little guys right here, as your slide release. So you take those and you pull them straight down. When you got those down, you just push this forward, just like so. You have your little spring in there. You just pop it up, push tension in, it pops right out. Have this, which is your barrel, which is empty. And you can see the clean rifling in there. It's a little dirty. You want to make sure it's clean at all times. And you have your slide. That's what strikes. Something strikes that, and it makes this little thing pop out and hit the bullet primer. And it shoots the bullet. This is pretty much your slide, and the pocket for the slide. Sights, chamber, serial number. And then they'll have the model, where it's made, Austria, and then the caliber. And then your serrations fill it back. First process, take this, drop it in. You just drop it in, push it back. You can just shake it and it'll come right out. Just make sure that the flat part is facing this big hole down here. So you got it upside down. So these little hooks are going to sit straight up. You just drop it down, push back, that easy. And you take your spring. The flat side that's black goes towards the front of the gun. The metal side goes towards this little hook back here. And you got a little pocket that it sits in on that hook. So you put it through here, you see it down, and it's just a little bit further back. So what you want to do is, mine's a little stiff sometimes, you gotta push it at different angles. Yeah, see that, it wants to go. Yours is probably a lot smoother, mine's a little old. But you want to sit, you don't want it to sit up like that. You just want to sit it right in that little pocket they got. So, and you'll see that it's parallel with the gun. And it looks just like that, sitting in that slot on the barrel. And you'll see your serial number, and your serial number again, and all that other shit. And that's how you know it's in right. So then you take your frame, which has your rails and all this and that, and you see these little slots right on the back of here. These little rails on the inside, not the middle ones, but these rails right here and right here. That little groove that my fingernail's on. And those grooves are going to be these little guys right here. This guy and this guy. So, and then goes all the way back to these guys right there. What you do is, once you have your slide fully assembled, you line those things up. See how it is, and you just line it up flat. And it'll slide right on, go all the way back. There's no magazine, make sure there's no magazine in here. See, I know this is unloaded, but what if you accidentally had your loaded one in there? You might have fucked up. And then you would have went and had a hot gun and not thought about it. And that's how shit fucks up. Even though this magazine is unloaded, it stays unloaded. So that's just for instructional purposes. But now your weapon is reassembled. You put an empty one in there, put the finger off the trigger, locks back. And if you had a loaded magazine, you'd be ready to fire. And that is how you work a Glock generally. Yep.